so excited to be here in East Baltimore at the historic Webb Recreational Center. Yes, let's get excited about what's about to happen here at Webb. To Mayor Scott, thank you for your continued leadership and support of Baltimore City Recreation Parks. Thank you, sir. Senator McCray, we've had many conversations, and your continued support for what you want in your 45th district, and this reality is happening, sir. And to Councilman Stokes and Councilman Glover, thank you from the 12th and 13th district for your support. So I think we have recognized all of our elected officials. I don't believe anybody's missing. Oh, I'm sorry. Delegate Addison from the District 45. I apologize, Delegate. Who? And also we have Delegate Embry here. So thank you all. Hopefully I don't miss anybody else. And then to all of our agency leaders and partners, you know, I could not have done this without the support of Commissioner Kennedy and Department of Housing and Community Development. She's supporting a great deal of this funding-wise. We have our Mort's office director here, Shamaya Kearney, many other leaders, many other agencies. So we're truly excited to be here. So we're going to get this started. We're going to start with our mayor of our city to come up and share a few words, and we have a short program so we can do the official groundbreaking so that CAM Construction can make this a reality. Mayor Scott.
Thank you, Director Moore. Good afternoon, East Baltimore. All right. We are here, and I am excited to be here today, but we also have representation from both our federal and state level. We have Alana from our wonderful Senator Van Hollen's office here with us today. And Ms. Williams from our governor's office is here today. And Director Moore, conversations are two-sided. When the senator's just telling you what you have to do, I don't say that's a conversation, but we'll talk about that later. It is such a great day to be in East Baltimore at the historic Webb Memorial Recreation Center. As you all know, we are in the midst of what we are calling Rec Rollout, where we are upgrading and renovating facilities throughout the city of Baltimore and ushering in a new era for Baltimore City Recreation and Parks. Over the past 2 weeks, in just the past 2 weeks, we cut the ribbon on a brand new playground at Falstaff Elementary Middle. Last week, we were over in my childhood neighborhood at one of my childhood rec centers, J.D. Gross, as we kicked off the renovation there. And now we are here to share our plans for renovating this historic facility, yet another huge victory for the city of Baltimore and something we know is a long time coming. I want to acknowledge all of our partners, as our director just did. For time, I won't rename them all, but when you look throughout this community, there's transformation happening all around us. Right up the road, we have 1234 McElder Apartments that is bustling with residents. Mixed income housing complexes at Somerset 2 and 3 are nearing completion. And just a few weeks ago, we broke ground on phase 2 of the Perkins project, and they kicked me out the bulldozer before I was ready to get out of it. Renovations here at the historic Webb are in alignment with the revitalization that is happening within these surrounding blocks. This rec center's namesake, William Henry Webb, the renowned drummer and jazz band leader known as the King of Swing, had a vision. In spite of the racist policies and practices that were rampant in the early 1900s, Mr. Webb, who grew up right here in East Baltimore, Mr. Senator, wanted to ensure that black youth had a safe venue to gather and play. It was an opportunity that young boys and girls who looked like him weren't afforded during his youth. Unfortunately, he passed away before he could see his dream come to fruition. But his physician, Dr. Ralph J. Young, and others continued working until they raised the funds to construct this rec center. This historic landmark opened its doors in 1947 and was the first community center and pool for black people in segregated East Baltimore. Opening this rec center back then was a big deal, but it goes without saying that our rec centers are still vital to our communities today. But it also goes without saying that Baltimore, in recent years and decades, has not been investing in rec and parks the way we should have. That is why we are committed to ushering this new era for recreation, one that is equipped with high-quality, state-of-the-art facilities like the ones we've been building and renovating, and services that benefit the overall well-being of our residents. When investing in quality recreational facilities that promote exercise and provide a venue for positive social interactions and community building, these centers also serve as a safe space for our residents to feel productive and enjoy being themselves. As a city, we are committed to investing in projects like this through a lens of equity and inclusion. That's why, in addition to several upgrades that this rec center will receive, I'm also pleased to announce that this will be an ADA compliant facility so that this space is something that everyone can enjoy. Other parts of the renovations include a new multi-purpose room and gym and event space, exercise studio, basketball courts for me to break in with my deadly jumper, classrooms, an upgraded swimming pool, locker facilities, exhibition space, and a recording studio in honor of Mr. Webb himself. I was asked a few months back after we opened the new Middle Branch facility in Cherry Hill in South Baltimore, Mr. Mayor, when we gonna get to East Baltimore? We got to East Baltimore today. I said East Baltimore was next, and is next. And as you heard, the Chick Webb Memorial Recreation Center is going to be a newly renovated and an even deeper asset for this community. Congratulations to the entire East Baltimore and the community for playing an integral part in planning and advancing this project. And because it's his birthday today, and I know he's trying to hide from me right now, I want to specifically call out Mr. Miles, who... Happy birthday, sir. Who knocked on my parents' door when he knew I had to stay with my parents during the renovation while I was getting renovations done, and say, Brandon, you got to make sure that Chick Webb happens. Happy birthday, Mr. Miles. It's going to happen. We're going to throw some dirt in a second. I look forward to coming back to that grand opening. Reggie won't be doing a ribbon cutting. We'll be doing a net breaking in, but the rest of the electors might need some help in it. I look forward to returning to that. And with that, I will turn it over to my friend, my brother, my senator, Corey McCray.
How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? I know y'all feel excited because I'm excited. I'm going to say it again. I know y'all feel excited because I'm excited. I just want to say that it is a pleasure, it is an honor, Madam CEO, Mr. Mayor, my director of Recs and Parks. I'm super excited about Chick Webb Rec Center. And I think about that, and I just like to compliment some of the things that my mayor said because he said it all. But I think about how he emphasized 1, 2, 3, 4 McElderry Park. And Ms. Daisy, we just letting folks know that we're just getting started. When I think about Dana, when I think about Director Abrams, we know that we're thinking about what does food insecurity look like and how do you address these issues. When I look at them, I think about how we're thinking about green space and making sure that we have great places for our young folks to be able to play at and be able to interact with. And Crystal, as I look at your 3 kids, as I look at your 3 beautiful daughters, knowing that I'm a father of 4, and I think about that same rec center, Director Moore, where my kids were able to play BNBL. But the reality is, Crystal, we're not doing this just for our kids. We're doing it for our great-great-great-grandkids and those to be able to enjoy this facility. Mr. Mayor, you already hit it. Ms. Danice was going to hit me if I didn't, but you said thank you to Mr. Miles, and I'll also double down and say congratulations and happy birthday. And then, Mr. Harold, I think about one of the other important points that my man lifted up. He lifted up Dr. Ralph Young. Because each and every day it's important for us to remember the shoulders that we stand on. So I say thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, Mr. Mayor, I know you said you came to East Baltimore, but I'm just letting everybody know that we just getting started, y'all. And I think that, Councilman, if my senator was up here, Senator McFadden, he would definitely say the sun rises in the east, and I'm a firm believer that the sun rises in the east. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Scott. Thank you, Councilman Senator McCray. And now we will hear from the councilman of the 12th District, Councilman Stokes.
First, I want to thank God for being here, but this is real emotional for me. Because I remember in 2017 when this building was going to be demolished for a while. And I said, you're not going to do that under my watch. So I made this building historic. I played ball in here. Families were raised in here. And it's just emotional because the naysayers probably didn't think this was going to happen. So I do want to recognize the Dunbar Coalition because they were part of it. So could y'all stand up, please? And I think about the development that's going on at Old Town Mall. Think about Somerset 1, 2, and 3, and 4 that's happening here in Baltimore because, again, the naysayers said wasn't going to happen. And this is really a tremendous day. The sun done come out. I mean, I'm so emotional because after 6 years of fighting the why, the people say it wasn't going to happen. Look where we at right now. And I played ball in there too, Mr. Mayor. And a lot of guys in here play ball in that gym. Raise your hand. They here. All right. And they swim. And we swim. And it's funny. I don't know if y'all know Dennis Chambers went to Dunbar. Dennis is one of the best drummers in the world. And he came from East Baltimore. He called me the other day. He said, when we going to do the ribbon cutting for the Chick Webb? I say, well, we haven't gotten to that point. And Mr. Director Moore know, 3 years ago, he sent me a brand new set of pearl drums, still in a box in my living room, that we're going to donate to Chick Webb. And he's going to come and play the drums. But more important, we're going to teach our kids about music. Music is a healer. With all the trauma that's going on, we have to have some space for our young people. We have to have rec centers, not just for basketball and football. We got to find out what they want and stop making decisions for them. Because anytime our kids got to go down to the harbor and feel like they got to have a good time, our rec centers, we got to do something a little different. Because what we've been doing is old. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Stokes. So I'm just going to say a few brief words here. Just as Councilman Stokes actually even said, it's just really exciting day. Anytime that we can come to either a ribbon cutting or a groundbreaking, that just continues to advance the vision of our agency. And again, I have to acknowledge this doesn't happen without having leaders such as our CAO, Leach, who believes in what we've been doing. She was my immediate supervisor as a deputy mayor. Now she's CAO, but she's heard about these conversations, or having a mayor or other elected officials that's willing to invest into these opportunities. But also, as a director, in order to have a vision, you got to have a strong staff to support you. And I cannot be here standing here today talking about an opening of Chick Webb without the Adam Boardmans of the world, who's our chief of capital. The Kate Browse of the world, who's over our planning, who has met with this community many times. Or our Chief of Marketing Communication, Tierra Brown, and her team, who make sure that these things happen every day. So to the entire BCRP team, thank you for your continued support in dealing with me. But also, as we imagine and reimagine our spaces, as the mayor said, this rec rollout and where we're going, we're just getting started. We're so excited. In a couple of weeks, we're going to be somewhat still in this district when we go over to Ambrose Kennedy to break ground for it. So we are coming, as the great Deion Sanders says, always, and we're really excited about what we're about to do and what we're going to continue to do with the support of the community, because we can talk about staffing those things as well as leaders, but we need the community. So I want to thank you as a community for coming to the various community meetings, being patient with us, sometimes maybe even getting frustrated as we went through this process. But I think in the end, we are going to check the box that this was a job well done, and what we're doing in East Baltimore and what this facility will bring to East Baltimore will be nothing less than a level of excellence. So thank you as a community. And then again, we just want to thank our partners, DHCD, for their financial commitment, the members at the state level for their financial commitment, as well as the city in this bond for what they're offering. And I think Mr. Miles has been acknowledged a couple of times, but I tell you, Mr. Miles, I've received many emails from you, sir. And I thank you for your commitment to a project and making sure that it stayed at the top of everybody's email box. So, sir, on behalf of our agency, this administration has already spoke about this, the senator has spoken about, but thank you, sir, for your passion. And we want to continue to have leaders like that. That keeps us accountable and hold us accountable as well. So we look forward to this construction. Cam Construction, if you can acknowledge where you are here. Cam is in the back. So these are the individuals that will be making this a reality with the construction. And shortly we will hear from GWWO, who was the agency that was responsible for the design of this facility. So now I will bring up next the person who helped make this a reality, the Commissioner of the Department of Housing and Communication, Commissioner Kennedy.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is really exciting because I know for so many people that are here with us today, this has been years, if not decades in the making, as Councilman Stokes said, to get to where we are and to preserve the history that is the Chick Webb Recreation Center. So we cannot have strong communities, and Mayor Scott mentioned this. I'm going to repeat it, and I'm going to reiterate it. We cannot have strong communities without all of the different components that make up a strong community. This isn't just about the place where you live, but it's the place where you play. It's the place where you work. It's the place where you're going to buy your groceries. It's the place where you're going to get a library book. It's the place where you're going to be able to meet your friends or grab a cup of coffee. All of those components is what builds and maintains and preserves the strong communities that we have across the city. And the Department of Housing and Community Development is really lucky to be working with our partners within government. Director Moore and his team at Rec and Parks, we work on a regular basis. This isn't the first project. You've heard a lot saying we're just getting started. This isn't the first one where you have the Department of Housing and Community Development working in partnership with the Department of Recreation and Parks to bring the resources and bring those, I don't like to call them amenities, because they aren't amenities to me. They are the necessities of a community. So we will continue to bring those necessities to the community with a holistic approach to this work that we do called economic and community development under an equitable lens to ensure that there is access for all, which there was not access for all when we think back to 1947 and when this rec center was originally built. I do want to take a little bit of a moment to let you know that this project, DHCD is supporting the project through what's called a Section 108 loan from HUD. This is something that the city, this is another component. We haven't utilized this in a very long time to think about how we can fund projects that aren't just housing related. We're talking over decades of not using this lending and financing mechanism. I want to thank Executive Advisor Stacy Freed and our Deputy Commissioner, Mary Correa, for the diligent and crossing of the T's and dotting of the I's on what it took to complete the onerous and significantly detailed application package to HUD for this type of financing. Without the strong staff, and with that staff working with the Rec and Park staff to make sure that all the descriptions were right and appraisals were right, and working with the law department on how to structure ownership and weird things that needed to come in. That's one reason why it took us a little bit to get here where we are today. But I want to thank all of you for your patience and for sticking it out with us while we did the work to keep our word to show up for you in the community. And I want to say that as well. I know Mr. Miles has been recognized a number of times today, but we've also made sure that we're keeping our word to Mr. Miles, to the community, to the legacy that is this recreation center. So I want to thank you all today for being here, and I look forward to the day when we are in there shooting some hoops. Thanks.
And next we have Catherine Benton Jones.
Greetings to everyone, especially our public officials that are here, to especially Councilman Stokes, to those that had took a large part in making us and bringing us to this point. I do especially thank those people that you do not see, and that's the community. I do thank those that do not get a paycheck, that rally for this event to take place, for these happenings to be about, and that's the community. I do thank those that has been dismissed from various positions that was involved in this, that greatly inspired and encouraged the community. Don't stop, don't give up, hold on, you can do this. And a lot of times you would think it takes a title, a whole bunch of letters coming to your desk, a whole bunch of putting this and that in order, but sometimes it takes the personality, a sincereness, and admiration, and legitimacy, a living in the community that you were born and raised in, to say now is the time. Now you must hear us, because we the one heard you. I'm grateful that Chick Webb has been here for the duration as a little girl, as Councilman Stokes. I honor especially the surrounding public housing community, because you don't see anyone holding a banner over their home that I am a home owner. They are community abiding residents that stand on what they believe and believe on what they stand on, and are willing and have been able to produce the sound environment you see here. I thank you one and all, being the president of the Chick Webb Council, as well as being the president of Change for Real, as well as being on the committee for the Dunbar Coalition under Ms. Connolly, as well as being on the board. Us community people get around. Because if we stay in one place, y'all will miss us. As well as being on the board for EBHL, as well as being on the board for Babla, which is now, as you know, formerly the Centennial Church. We look to see, yes, a change, but we look to see positive movement for the people that reside here, that worked here, that earned the right to say, I am East Baltimore. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. Thank you, Ms. Jones. And finally, before we open up for questions, we have Chris that is here from GWWO, who was responsible for designing this great, wonderful facility.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am Chris Alcock. I'm an associate principal at GWWO Architects. It's a pleasure to be here at this groundbreaking of the Chip Meg Memorial Recreation Center. This is a special place, isn't it? It is. I want to start by thanking Director Moore, Adam Borman, and the entire Baltimore City Recreation Parks staff. It is their leadership and vision that brings us here today. My firm, GWWO, and the design team, we are grateful for the opportunity to serve as a trusted partner with Baltimore City Parks and Recs, in our case for over 15 years. And we are dedicated to providing the city, its communities safe, as the mayor said, safe, modern facilities accessible to all ages and abilities. The recreation center that you see now is going to be 100% renovated, and then it's going to double in size. And so it will offer spaces it will offer spaces to support the programs that this community requested. And that's part of why it is so special. I wish to recognize all of those neighborhood organizations, many of you that I see here today, that have partnered with us to make the right decisions for this renovation effort. I'm also pleased to announce one special feature of this project, and that is that we will tell the story, finally, we will tell the story of Chick Webb, his life, his achievements, his legacy, and the legacy of this place. And so while you were here to enjoy basketball and all of the other sports programs, we also invite you to return again and again to partake of the exhibit panels to learn more about this unique place, this unique community, and this unique individual. Lastly, I'd like to thank Chick Webb and his friend Dr. Young, two outstanding Baltimoreans who recognized and believed in the value of recreation and sport. Two individuals that insisted that East Baltimore should have facilities just as good as any in the city. And as we embark on this transformative project, I hope that they could not be more proud. Congratulations, East Baltimore. And thank you very much.
And we also want to acknowledge the RJY Chick Webb Coalition for their support and work during this project as well. And so at this time, we will open up for any questions you may have. Sir, in the back, I think you have one question.
What is the expected completion date?
The expected completion date on this is a 18 to 24 month project. So it's going to range within 25, fall of 25, we should open up this facility at the latest.
And also, just for note, we all have heard and talked about our historic investment in rec and parks in many different ways. One of the ways that we're doing that is with the $41 million that we put in through ARPA, and what we're releasing today for the entire city of Baltimore to see are those projects. They are on these maps behind us. They include 20 playgrounds, 7 basketball courts, 2 trails, 3 new recreation centers for Baltimore City, and Councilman, and 3 pools. And they are throughout the city of Baltimore. Just pick the whole easel up, Mr. Councilman. Help them out, Councilman. Teamwork make the dream work. Just take the whole easel. There you go. And you can see these projects are throughout the city of Baltimore, so that communities throughout our great city are going to be impacted. Children, young people, families. So we wanted to make sure that we put that out before we go third today. Thank you, everybody.
3, 2, 1.